What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. I am your host, Junkyard James. With me is the one, the only, the man with the most sauce. It's Cody Marinera. How are you this Thursday, my friend?
I am doing okay. Frustrated that I have to get a new debit card, but well, it's a different story for a different day. Um, yeah. Other than that, doing all right. Football's back. That's always a good thing. Um, Talking some wrestling as well. Doing all right. How are you doing, sir?
It's a pretty good day here. I guess you could say it's I gotta say though, like 2 months ago, like we couldn't pay to get rain, and it feels like the past week and a half, every single day it's rained, and like we'll take the rain. Like it's hotter. Like the mornings are usually hot and muggy because of the rain and the humidity, but it's been wild weather here the last couple of days. I feel like I drive home in a thunderstorm every day. Are we sure this is not Florida? Like, do we live in Florida now?
Been mixed
um,
between Florida and Seattle, Washington.
absolutely. But no, it's been a good day, and look, we get to talk pro wrestling, and so that's always fun to do. And we got a few new segments that we're going to introduce today and test them out and see how you guys like them. And we would like this to be something that is kind of interactive with the fans. So we're going to give our opinions on them, but feel free to join us in the chat. Comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. Like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this podcast every single Thursday. We gotta give a shout out though to the people that make it happen, the people that partner with us. That's a W Energy, your taste buds favorite energy drink. Um, W Energy is a powdered energy drink. You just dump one scoop into a bottle of water, and it replaces that inferior caffeine beverage that you may drink otherwise, containing zero maltodextrin, zero fillers, zero artificial colors and dyes, and none of those proprietary energy blends that all the other big energy companies boast about on their cans. The star of the show is the coffee fruit extract, plus a variety of really good flavors that W Energy has. It gives you jitterless energy without the crash, and we got a deal for you guys for them partnering with us. Go to w.gg and use the code Beyond the Yard. Save 10% on your order. W Energy, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Go to w.gg, use code Beyond the Yard at checkout, and save 10%. All right, we're going to start the show by first welcoming my man DJ Wavy D, sitting there at the club tonight doing some work. How you doing, my friend? Well, thank you for tuning in to the show. We're going to start this show kind of like we always do. We're going to drop that promo. We used to call it the mid card meltdown. We're going to drop a promo on one topic in pro wrestling that has kind of, you know, grinded our gears a little bit or maybe irritated us, or you just want to call somebody out. So, my friend, we'll give you the mic. It's time for you to drop that promo.
I guess Fubo TV should be on the top of the list of that one. Um, I, you know what? I'm now. This is not going to be a wrestling thing, so I apologize in advance. Um, though we'll say SummerSlam was awful, but anyways, we'll get to that. I'm sick and tired of Nike and Fanatics ruining the sports apparel world. I I got a shirt a month and a half ago, and on Fanatics' website, I have screenshots. I have screenshots of my email for the order, and I had screenshots for what was on the website. It was supposed to be this logo on a T-shirt, and I got the shirt, and it had the regular W. Okay,
But
that's not the right shirt. So I blasted Fanatics on X and talked to this person in the DMs about, okay, we're looking into it, and then was like, all right, I talked to my managers. If you send us a shirt and if you buy another one, we'll cover the shipping. And I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that. I want you to send me a replacement shirt because this is not my fault at all. He's upset too. But this is not my fault. I'm not paying for another shirt. I'm not paying for anything. Send me a replacement shirt and I'll give you this one back. No problem. That has been over a month ago, and apparently somebody else had a problem with the same issue, told Fanatics, and so they have now taken that off Fanatics' website, the shirt entirely, because I guess they need to recalibrate and make sure that they put the right product on the pages. Fast forward, and I cannot tell you how many people have had the same issues with kind of this logo, but in general, where they don't get the right order. So what do we got to do? What do we got to do? Who do I have to call to break up this monopoly of sports apparel and merchandising? Specifically when it comes to like the official license stuff from the NFL, because this is ridiculous. I'm very upset. And also SummerSlam sucked. Continue.
also, SummerSlam sucked. My condolences for you not being able to get that jersey. I saw your post when you posted it. I was like, oh man, this ain't gonna be good. But yeah, they probably shouldn't have put it on the website if they weren't gonna send them out. That's kind of crazy. See, I don't. Fanatics never carries anything in my size anyway, so I don't gotta buy anything from them. I have to go to like some discount retailer that can spoof it and send it from China to me so that I can have something that fits me. So, anyways, all that to say, fuck Fanatics, right? Uh, you talked about SummerSlam for a minute, and yeah, I don't think it was that great of a show, and that was actually going to be my promo, which is probably going to be more like a monologue because I have a little bit to say, and I'm going to condense it as short as I can, but I can't guarantee anything because like I thought about making this like its own separate episode, but I never got to it earlier in the week. So I just want to share a few things. And it's basically where we get the title of this episode from, why AEW and WWE fans don't agree. And it base in the shortest way possible, it's because they have been trained to expect totally different products. So if you are what I would call a majority WWE fan, meaning you watch more WWE than you watch AEW, you have been trained by WWE to that pro wrestling is a certain style. It's entertainment. It's not really about the in-work match. It's just about these big moments. Your match work, your match, the in-ring stuff doesn't necessarily matter all that much. And then if you watch a lot more AEW, like I do, than WWE, you have been taught or trained or programmed to say, the storytelling is great, but the matches matter. The stories get told in the ring. We don't do all of the glitz and glam and the lights and And I think that was shown positively by SummerSlam, because for the most part, your WWE, exclusive audience, while they maybe weren't super thrilled about night one of SummerSlam, night one was absolutely just diabolically terrible. There's no metric to call it anything worse better than just terrible. But night two, they had Danhausen, they had the Kevin Owens surprise return. They had Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, which to me, that was the greatest moment of the entire 2-night spectacle. And it was because they put on a really good match and they told a story in the ring. It was the more AEW style show. The rest of it, to me, was absolutely terrible. But to the WWE exclusive audience, it was mostly positive for night two on social media. But that was because that is exactly what they've been trained to look for. Now, on the other side, the AEW fans, they weren't really necessarily happy about either night of SummerSlam. In fact, many were saying like AEW Redemption was probably AEW's worst show of the year, worst pay-per-view of the year. But it was miles better than SummerSlam ever could have been. Many were saying last night's Dynamite Grand Slam from Arena Mexico. Great show, by the way. Tony Khan, we're going to need to stop you going 2.5 hours. I fell asleep again. So I'm going to need you to go to 2 hours and cut it off at 10 o'clock for the next couple of weeks so I don't fall asleep during the main event every week. But yeah, that show was great. The Arena Mexico crowd is the best crowd in all pro wrestling. I don't care what anybody says, but because so I think it's a little frustrating when you're talking to a wrestling fan. I think the first thing you have to do is understand the framework that they're coming from, because the majority of WWE fans aren't going to agree with you because as an AEW fan, because they don't see wrestling through your framework. And so obviously there's going to be a disconnect there. Same, and then as a WWE fan, you can't expect AEW fans to see wrestling through the same lens that you do. There's that disconnect, and so you have to come into conversations with the understanding of where they view pro wrestling. Now I'm gonna shit on one specific part of SummerSlam, and that revolves around Chad Gable, because man, congratulations, he finally got his singles title. Great speech, and then in WWE typical fashion, they had to turn that heartwarming fucking speech into an ad placement for frickin' mug root beer. It made absolutely no sense. Now, maybe it would have made sense if it was a way for Chad Gable to turn heel and he beat the shit out of the Bulldog mascot, or for someone to be in the Bulldog mascot and beat up Chad Gable. It would have made sense if they used it but no, it was just an ad placement. Chad Gable got that dog in him or whatever. That stupid frickin' slogan they use for mug root beer. And so I hated it, because you turned what should have been a bitter or like a sweet moment of celebration into an ad placement, and it was very cringy. Additionally, I guess I should say prayers out to Brie Bella. She shattered her patella, I think is what it was, or some bone, I don't know. She broke something during her match and fought through the whole thing. Figure she married Bryan Danielson, so but hopefully she can recover. Also, the interim women's championship is dumb. Rhea Ripley just had surgery. Pull the title off of her. I don't want to hear them complaining about AEW doing that interim shit again because WWE is now doing it. So, yeah. Let's talk about the first new topic that we're going to introduce to the show. we're going to do a segment that we're going to call Push or Pass, and I have given you a list, and I gave you the list in advance. That way you can have your answers, and I'm not putting you on the spot. But there's 2, 4, 6, 7 wrestlers that I have listed here. And I'm just going to ask you a simple question. And if you're in the chat, go ahead and play along with us on this. It's in the name of the title, Push or Pass. I'm going to name this wrestler, and you're going to tell me, are you going to push this specific wrestler and why, or are you going to pass on him and why?
Full
and we'll
disclosure,
start off.
Just because you sent me the list doesn't mean I read it.
Oh. Sounds good. So you might be on the spot anyway.
It's fine.
Here we go. We'll start with wrestler number 1 in the SmackDown Women's Division. She's been there for about 3 months now, and we haven't seen her wrestle once. Blake Monroe, my friend, would you push her or pass?
Push. She got the charisma, got the talent. We just gotta let it.
Yep.
Don't let her go. Let it happen.
Yeah, no, I would push her as well. I think I made a post about this. I might have just dreamt I did, but it's almost a curse to be an NXT female and get caught up to SmackDown. Jordan Grace no longer, WWE no longer has plans for her. We haven't seen Blake Monroe. Rumored that Lola Vice is going to SmackDown, so we won't ever see her again. But no, I'm pushing Blake Monroe. At her best, we've seen what she has done in AEW under Mariah May, and she was very talented there. She can be your top women's heel, especially if Rhea is going to be out for any specific time. You're going to need as many women as you can to fill the gap there. I'm just so tired on Raw and SmackDown of them pushing Becky Lynch every fucking time. I think it would be good for Blake Monroe to get some TV time and to get a big push. And like, I've never not liked Blake Monroe. I think her better rendition was Mariah May, but she has all the talent in the world, so give her a push. We will jump straight into the AEW Women's Division, into Miss TBS champion Maya World. Are you going to push her or pass? The silence is fun.
I'm gonna go with push.
Okay.
For the fact that she has really good talent. She's pretty solid in the ring. She got to get her character. We got to get her something to sink her teeth into. Once we get that, I think the sky's the limit for her.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm putting stock in my Maya World. I think she's going to be in the main event picture of AEW's women's division for quite some time. She's young. Obviously, she's TBS champion now. I do agree. She comes off a little bit bland because she doesn't really have a character right now. She's just kind of who she is, and she's Maya World. And for some wrestlers, that works. Like, that's that AEW style that, like, you know, they'll let you play you, and you know, you can just, you know. But I think if you gave her a little bit of a story or a background, and because eventually she's doing this because her brother died thing,
right?
Like,
that's exactly where I was gonna go.
Yeah, it's good for now, and it's like it's good for this storyline of like this redemption arc of, you know, she shouldn't have been here. Her brother died. She pushed through, and now she's getting this moment. I don't know how long they can carry that for. So if they can, they can find something that like sticks, kind of a gimmick or a character that is uniquely Maya World, then yeah, she's like I honestly would pair her with Mercedes Moné full time. Like build a stable, and put her and Mercedes Moné and a couple other people in there, and I think that would be a really good thing for the women's division. Sticking with AEW, I got the Bang Bang Gang. So that's Austin and Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson, Ace Austin, and Jay White. Are we pushing or passing the Bang Bang Gang?
Pushing them to the moon. Um, these guys have uber charisma. They are so over with the crowd. But I feel I know with Jay White with his injuries and especially the guns, it's been stop and start. Juice Robinson as well has been on the injured list, so it's been stop and start. And I get that part of it. But when they're together, man, they are a fun faction. Crowd loves them. They're good in the ring. Um, yeah, we need to keep them as healthy as we can, but put them on TV as much as possible and get Jay White the singles belt. Maybe give Juice and Austin a uh, maybe not a tag team belt, but let them do something. And then obviously the Guns should be in a tag team title scene as well. You could do a trios between maybe Ace, Juice, and Jay. Um, but yeah, these guys are uber talented. They're over, and I enjoy them, and I look forward to whenever they are on TV. I'm happy when they're on TV. So we see them more in general, but if it's me, I am pushing the Guns as a whole.
Yeah, when I was in Charleston, Juice Robinson gave me a fist bump, so I feel like I got to push these guys.
You're now obligated.
I'm obligated by uh, the touch of the. Never mind, that sounds gross. But uh, we'll take that out of the video on replay. You won't be able to hear that again. No, I'm kidding. No, I'll push them because they are like a really good thing. I think Ace Austin can really do good. He might not be like he could be the guy that goes to ROH and does the pure title or the TV title or even fight for like the national title in AEW. I think Juice and Jay are really talented guys, and then the Guns prior to both of them kind of having some injury stuff. Like they were, I think, in line to have a title opportunity at some point, so they got to find their way back in. And this is a wide open field. I think once once all in is done and we're moving forward for next year, like pretty wide open tag scene. We don't really know what's coming up with FTR, if they're coming back or if they're still on this hiatus or if they're leaving AEW. And so we're bringing new tag teams in, so it's just a wide open tag team field. So, in some way, shape, or form, trios, belts, or whatever may happen, Bang Bang Gang should be involved in those plans. We'll jump back into WWE for a moment. We'll talk about the new. I can't remember what title it is. Intercontinental Champion, maybe, I don't know. Baron Corbin, push or pass?
Oh, he he's U.S. champ. He beat Trick, right?
U.S. champ, U.S. champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say pass. I just I like the guy. I appreciate the work ethic. I appreciate him trying to reinvent himself on the Indies and then getting back with WWE and getting another contract. He's got he had a really good theme song. Doesn't have one anymore. Um, and it's just there's just something. It's just no matter what kind of now the whole Happy Corbin, whatever he did with that whole thing, Lucky Corbin, that was different. It wasn't terrible, but um, besides that, I mean, there's just not much that he brings, and I just think that's just him as a character as a whole. Just not a very charismatic type of guy. Um, but I just there's a disconnect with him, and just about every character he's done. So I'm gonna say pass.
Yeah, no, I'm passing on Baron Corbin as well, my guy. Uh, I think he's lost the aura. Like if they would have kept him as the lone wolf when they called him up from NXT the first time, like he had an aura there. He had a character there, and then they just butchered him, cut him, and I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of his Bishop Dyer stuff in MLW and all of that. I don't feel like he really made that big of a name for himself and on the indies. It's not like Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, or even like Ricky Saints, where they kind of made themselves bigger than they maybe were years before on the indie scene, and WWE brought him in and really gave him that push to the moon. And I wouldn't do it for him. One, he's in his 40s, and my belief is it's a crime that Trick Williams lost that title to him because he's so like WWE needs to be focusing on the future. I mean, those guys that are younger and about to enter their prime, and I feel like Baron Corbin is past his prime at this point. So I wouldn't give him that big of a push. In fact, I don't even know if he would be on a roster if I ran a wrestling company, if I'm being completely honest. Now we'll move to, and I added this guy to the list because Lord have mercy. Did Conrad Thompson start some shit on 83 weeks? Roman Reigns, pass or push?
I need to know what he said because I have not. I don't know what he said and what
Uh,
he started, so I got to hear that.
yeah, Conrad Thompson, I think it was yesterday or today, said Roman Reigns is the most overrated wrestler in all of pro wrestling. Let me see if I have his actual quote, if I can pull it up. Um, he said he said he's probably the most overrated wrestler, main eventer in WWE history, and described his the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion as Goldberg if he worked more than 10 minutes. He said we had a good storyline with the Bloodline, but now that the Bloodline, it feels like it's into its black and silver era of the NWO. It's kind of like, it was a fun moment in time, but it's time to really move on. I just don't know that there's really truly fanatical Roman Reigns fans. Like if they booked Roman Reigns the way they do CM Punk or the way they do Cody, I just feel like we've been conditioned to believe he's a top guy, but there's really no real reason why. So would you push or pass Roman Reigns?
Pushing him. I mean, I like Roman, but when he turned heel, changed the game for him, and he was the right champion to lead WWE into the pandemic and out of the pandemic. Set up an amazing two main events of WrestleMania between him and Cody, to where one ultimately culminated in Cody finishing this stupid story. But it was one of the biggest moments I would think in WWE in the last 20 years. Um, Roman has, I understand that he doesn't show up a whole lot and the whole part time thing, and that got really irritating. And I get it, I do. But anytime he showed up, it's a huge deal. And his segments with the Bloodline, they were must see TV, my opinion. And he didn't have to say a whole lot. His actions really kind of set some of the stuff for him. So, and I know in the first 5, 6 years post Shield, he was just being shoved down our throats, and I get that, and I hated it too. Um, it just took the right moment and the right time to do the right thing with him, And as we've seen since then, it's been a much different, but a much better Roman Reigns. So CM Punk's the most overrated wrestler in wrestling history, by the way. Yeah, I'm pushing Roman. Either Punk or Lex Luger, most overrated wrestler in history. But either way, I digress.
No, it's totally CM Punk. There's no question there. Man, did he shit himself again this week?
Sure looked like it to me.
I was told no, he was just sweating. I'm like, shit, he needs to powder up his balls to keep him from sweating or something. No, man. There was something wet down there. No, I think, man, this is tough because I kind of get what Conrad was saying. I don't think he's super overrated. I think he's just the whole. I guess I'll put it like this, because like everyone in AEW or everyone hates Jon Moxley for whatever reason. Like apparently he's a terrible wrestler and or whatever, because I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of people on social media that hate Jon Moxley, but Jon Moxley really is the backbone of AEW. Like he's the guy that is going to be the most dependable guy. And I feel like in WWE, that's Roman Reigns. Like, yeah, Roman Reigns is maybe a part-timer now, so he's maybe not as dependable. But like if WWE needs to draw a crowd, it's Roman Reigns. There's a reason Roman Reigns is working with AAA for whatever tournament that they're doing. There's a reason why Roman Reigns is always in the world title scene, and it's because he's dependable enough to be that main event guy. And when he shows up, he can put on a fairly decent match. Now I'm going to say I'm going to push him, maybe a light push, because he is up there in years. And I think WWE should be focusing on building their next generation of superstars instead of having to rely on Roman Reigns a whole lot. But man, I mean, when he still has gas in the tank and you get him a good story, then I mean, he's going to put on a good match. And we saw it with SummerSlam. Like I said, the only good part of SummerSlam this week was Seth versus Roman, and you know, Roman really showed out in that match, and good for him. So I'll give him a light push. I don't think there's any way I can pass on Roman Reigns. Now the next guy, we're going back to AEW for the final two. And this guy likes you to say his full name, and that's Kyle motherfucking Fletcher. Push or pass, my friend?
If you ask my wife this question, she would say pass in a heartbeat.
Your wife would be wrong.
I gotta push him, man. I mean, he is such a unique talent. He's big, he's strong, he's tall, he's athletic. Taking a chance and cutting his hair and turning on Ospreay, joining the DCF. It's been great for him. It's elevated him into as close to superstardom as you can get. And he delivers a pretty good promo. He could be a little bit better with it, but he does a pretty good job. And just, I mean, his in-ring ability is as good as almost anybody right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see how you don't push him. Dude is such a super athlete and proto star, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I think he lives up to the name.
Absolutely. No, I'm pushing this guy to the moon. I think Kyle Fletcher has passed like Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay as my favorite pro wrestler right now. And man, I just like, you're not supposed to like the heel, but when Kyle Fletcher wrestles, you have no reason but to cheer. And just think about the way he entered into AEW. Like nobody would have ever seen it coming from Kyle. I don't even know if I was really like bought in on Kyle Fletcher when he came in as part of the United Empire. But this whole change of gimmick and character has really just set his career on a path of superstardom. He has to be, to me, he has to be the next in line to get the big world title push. And I know Will's going to hold it for probably quite some time, but at some point in the future, Will Ospreay is going to have to drop that belt. And I think it would be cool to see Kyle Fletcher take it from him. But yeah, I'm pushing that guy to the moon. And we got one final character on push or pass, and it's a former AEW World Champion, Darby Allin. Are we pushing him or passing?
I'm gonna have to say pass. I really am. I think that he has, in the time that he has been with AEW at the very beginning, he has done a remarkable job at getting himself over. And of course, that's kind of using the Mick Foley way of just putting your body on the line. But he has a lot of things going against him. He's skinny, not much muscle. He's not the tallest dude in the world. Doesn't have that polished look. So he has to kind of do these daredevil things to get noticed and do these stunts that get his name out there. So I applaud him for doing what it takes to get himself over. And he's over with the crowd for sure. Crowd loves him. Kids love him. It's easy to dress up like him for Halloween. He's a good face paint. It works. But as far as a main event talent, I think we have seen, and maybe not so much as a TNT champion, or maybe even a continental or an international champion, or even a national champion. But as a world champion, I don't think we need to touch that stone anymore. We've tried it. We've turned it over. We squeezed the juice out of it. It didn't work the best in the world, and I think there's a reason why we probably shouldn't have done that. But I appreciate the effort. I wasn't against the world title run, but now looking at everything that has happened, I don't see how you push him. I think you can't do it.
Yeah, I feel like everybody who's watched this show over the past 6 months kind of knows my answer on this. I'm passing. For everything you've said, but also I'm a numbers guy. And the fact is, this year, when Darby Allin was world champion, we had our lowest viewership of the year. And then he loses the belt. And when MJF had the belt, now with Kenny Omega as champion, the numbers are actually looking halfway decent, even when we're going up against other factors, other things that may have caused ratings to decline for an obvious reason. The numbers are still pretty good, but also he's just such a niche character, and my belief is you don't push the niche into the world title scene. That's where you give us the superstars. And Darby Allin, I think his perfect place is competing for those TV championships or the national title or the continental title, and putting on really good matches, but not in the main event scene. And so for that reason, I'll have to pass on Darby Allin. Well, listen, if you're watching this on replay or maybe live, go ahead and comment what you would do for those 7 wrestlers, and let us know in the comments. We're going to move on to our third and final segment of the night, and it's another new segment that I'm calling the Junkyard Challenge. And so tonight's challenge is for both of us to fantasy book Hangman Adam Page into the World Heavyweight Championship scene again. So I have my answer. I'll start this one and I'll let you finish and give you some time to think about it. But Hangman Adam Page. So for those who maybe don't watch AEW, Hangman Adam Page lost to MJF several months ago, and the stipulation was if he lost, he would never be able to fight for the AEW World Championship ever again. He Cody Rhodes himself. Now, Tony Khan said, well, it was never really put on paper, so it's not like a legit stipulation. But Hangman Adam Page did come back a couple weeks ago and said he's a man of his word. He's going to run it like it's a real stipulation and never challenge for the AEW World Championship again. Well, see, here's the thing is Hangman Adam Page lives to chase that AEW World Championship. And so he's going to want to taste defeat the title again. And he's going to chase, he said he's going to chase these other championships, but the thing is those just won't satisfy his thirst for the world title. And so on August 30th, 2026, at Wembley Stadium, Hangman Adam Page joins the Casino Gauntlet match. And the winner of the Casino Gauntlet match at Wembley Stadium at AEW All In gets a guaranteed AEW World Championship match. Anytime, any place, all they got to do is give 7 days notice. I don't know why Tony Khan made that a stipulation, but that's a stipulation now. 7 days notice for the world title shot. Hangman Adam Page is going to win that gauntlet match, the Casino Gauntlet match. Hangman Adam Page is your winner. So he gets the world title opportunity. Now, whether it be Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega, obviously it's Will Ospreay most likely. Hangman Adam Page is going to now be left conflicted because he said he would never fight it again, but he won the match that gave him the opportunity. So now he's going to have this battle within himself. And so Will Ospreay wins the belt in August. But in December, Hangman Adam Page says, I want my title opportunity at World's End. Now, I'm not saying Hangman's going to win, but I think he fights for the belt again at World's End, 2026, December. That's the only show that hasn't been announced. Please put it in Charlotte, North Carolina, Tony Khan. Please, please, please. We need a show. We haven't had a show in 2 years. So that's my way. There's no big, heel turn or any of that, or him going against his word. It's just he wins the Casino Gauntlet match. I think that makes the most sense, and it's kind of like a loophole to get through that dumbass stipulation they put on Hangman Adam Page.
That's a good one. That's kind of the easiest path, I would think, and the most logical one in a way. If it were up to me, what I would do is you gotta do kind of what Hangman did with the Owen in 2025, where he was a desperate man. And you got to get him to that point again. You got to get him to beat everybody and say, and obviously the champion probably needs to be a heel, and say, listen, I'm beating everybody. I need to try the world title. Let me do it. And then the champion, whomever says, no, but you still got that little stipulation that says you can never vie for the world title again. Sorry, bud, can't do it. And they may try to get underneath the skin of the heel champion to fork up a world title opportunity. If he has a manager, he beats up the manager quite a bit. It just does, messes up his cars, his steals the title belt. Like, I mean, he tries everything to try and get this world champion to finally just give him one world title match. But then it comes down to Heyman is at his wit's end. He doesn't know what else to do. He has tried everything in the book. And then finally, like, he asks one more time, and he looks so rugged, like, hasn't shaved in days. Kind of like what Paul Heyman did a few years ago, where Paul just looked like shit on TV, but it was to get the character home. Heyman can do the same thing, not shaven, looking raggy, scrappy, um, holes in his, clothes, just looking rough because he is so stressed and anxious and wants it so bad. And that champion again says, no. You almost had me. I almost caved in, but no. So Heyman starts walking up to the stage. He starts just like being this depressed cowboy, things like that. And then finally he turns around and says, my career. I give you my word in a document, signed, sealed, delivered. I will fork up my career, not only in All Elite Wrestling, but in the world of professional wrestling. I will sign this document that says I will never wrestle again. Get it publicly notarized, make it look like the most legit thing in the world. And in that way, it kind of entices that heel champion to go, well, now I have something in it for me that not only did I beat Heyman and he can never challenge for the world title again, but he can never wrestle again anywhere, at any time, at any company. And that's how we do it. We get it to where they finally cave in. Heyman gets his world title opportunity by doing everything he can think of and gives up the very last thing that he really only has, which is his career. If you want to go further, do like what Ric Flair did in 1998 on a Nitro the night after Starrcade 98, where he lost Eric Bischoff and he wanted to fight him again in a rematch for the control of WCW. I'm not saying Heyman needs to do this, but Flair basically stripped down to his underwear. It was like, I give you my shoes, my Gucci shoes. I give you my Hugo Boss Armani jacket, my watches, my Rolexes, cash. I'll handcuff myself to a rope. Like, I'm not leaving until you give me an answer and give me the right answer. I will give you my house, my cars, everything he owns. If he wants to go that far, he can. But like the biggest part of that is Heyman has a signed document that says I will never wrestle in my life again.
Yeah.
And I think the only way you can really do that, Swerve has to be the champion, right?
Yes, I was gonna say it had to be Swerve.
They've done it with MJF and it worked. I think it worked. No, he did it with Moxley. MJF could work too, but I think it's got to be Swerve.
I think that would be the finale of that
That feud.
that feud that they have. I think that would be good. I mean, you can even be like have Heyman like he's like that sympathetic cowboy or whatever, and be like, man, I'll just go back to teaching school again, being a school teacher again. If I lose, I need this type of thing. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. That desperate man who.
If he did like a substitute teacher thing for a day and Swerve comes in, shows up, and like kind of beats him up a little bit, but like I don't know how you would be able to. And there probably some ruling about trying to do that in a school setting and kids showing up on cameras and stuff like that. But if there was a way to get around that, hire kid actors or something like that and do it at school, something like that, that'd be cool.
You can just have Minniehausens show up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Which, oh, by the way, the speaking of Minniehausens, the comedian Brad Williams?
Yes.
He was one of the Minniehausens at SummerSlam.
Really?
Yeah. He posted it on social media. Yeah. Nobody knows because, they all look dumb in the Danhausen face paint. But that's all we had today. Let's end this out on a good note. Anything else you want to just talk about real quick before we end the show, my friend?
Fuck Fanatics. Fuck Nike. Um, all in London looking like it's gonna be a good show. We're hosting a pay-per-view party that day, so that'll be awesome. That'll be fun. Um,
It's a good thing that pay-per-view was in the afternoon because I totally went blank when I put my fantasy football draft on August 30th at 9 p.m. So it's a good thing that show will be over by then.
I think I'm in that too, and I was like, damn, just stay for that too. Um, but yeah, and just glad football season is practically here. My boys finally got another wide receiver to complement Terry McLaurin, a real wide receiver to complement Terry McLaurin. Um, I'm not going to say we're going to make a run to the bowl, but I'm going to say that I think we are looking good on paper, and it's just all about execution.
Yeah, the Bills are winning the Super Bowl this year. So, oh fuck.
My son said no.
Knowing my history, we finished last place now. Miami Dolphins beat us twice.
Oh, 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 man. If that happens this year, brother, we gotta talk.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I can't wait. Football is almost here. Um, it's crazy how quickly this year has gone by. We're about to start hockey season in like a month. Baseball season's almost over. Fuck Alex Anthopoulos. We need a starting pitcher. Though,
Screwball had a bad outing, and we've won 7 in a row. But like I told a Braves fan on Twitter today, I was like, listen, be proud of this moment right now. Be happy for our team. My son is included. And I said, but let's wait till mid-September before we really start hatching our eggs and getting the cart in front of the horse. Let's pause. Be proud of the moment, but let's look to the future.
Yeah. Also, fuck Jacob DeGrom. Man, we could have used you. We could use you on the team. I don't know why you don't want to be in Atlanta. You could win a title there. But also Casey Mize had a really terrible.
Matt, what do you expect?
True. Casey Mize had a very terrible outing in his debut in San Diego. 3 innings, like 9 earned runs.
Again, it was bad. I can't just jump the cart in front of the horse. Quick reaction. Looks like we did the right thing. However, I just especially when you're moving to a different team, different ballparks, different everything.
Your routine is different.
I feel your first couple games are going to be rough until you get your footing again. But we'll see what happens in September. I'm very much looking forward to football season. I'm really looking forward to hockey season with our Capitals. Not saying we need to do anything else because Lordy knows it may be a little hard for me to do it every other night or every night, but we need to give a weekly Capitals update as well, since maybe weekly football too. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been a strange last couple of weeks with like an on 1 week, off 1 week type of thing, but we're hoping to push through for the rest of 2026. So we, as always, usually take like a month off during the holidays at the end of the year. So we'll push through till probably I guess the end of October, early November, and then I hope y'all tune in. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. My hope is to get back on my game on posting some additional segments and things for the channel there, and updating the audio version of the podcast that hasn't been done since May, I think. So we got to catch up there. But that'll happen eventually. But as always, we'll close the live stream out with the good man, the man with the most sauce, giving us the final words.
Even though it's been a few weeks, I didn't forget the saying. In the midst of it being a pretty active summer, hope y'all are out there enjoying your favorite activities and food and all that good stuff. So until we see y'all next week, next Thursday, same time, same place, same channel, 9 p.m. Eastern here on the Beyond the Junkyard or the Junkyard Media Group YouTube channel. we shall see you all next week, and hope you all stay saucy, friends.
This is wrestling without the filter. This is Beyond the Junkyard.